Welcome, friends and guests, to a truly extraordinary event. Hi there, I am Tonya D, a holistic shaman medium, an otherworldly life coach, and subtle energetic surgeon with over 30 years' experience across various industries. I'm thrilled to share this transformative journey with you. So go ahead and mark your calendars for an unforgettable experience at Crohn's Hollow, July 16th at 1 p.m. We'll dive deep into the realms of gift and purpose, explore the elements and subtle energies, and uncover the secrets of the unseen world. Are you ready to embark on this extraordinary adventure? Allow me to share a glimpse into my own mystical journey. As a young child, I experienced a profound encounter with death, only to return with a deeper understanding of the other world. Ever since, I've been blessed to connect with beings from the realm of the Fae, angels, and so much more. Guided by the unseen forces, I've become a conduit, a mystic messenger, primarily working with the elementals on and off grid. So let's delve into what this event is all about. Gift and purpose are at the heart of our exploration. We'll map out your divine design and navigate the elemental highway, unveiling hidden treasures along the way. Drawing from my mentorship and remarkable individuals like Elder Melodoma Somé, an African elder and shaman, will delve into the powerful art of cowrie shell divination, connecting with indigenous wisdom and embracing our own authenticity. So get ready to unlock your potential. We'll open the door to your unique gift and purpose, exploring the elemental realm and its profound connection to spirit. We'll delve into energy centers, grounding techniques, and even touch upon celestial influences. Come with an open mind, an open heart, and an otherworldly perspective. Bring a pen and paper, or simply just record insights on your audio device. We'll meet on July 16th at 1 p.m. at Crohn's Hollow, 3834 South Main Street in Salt Lake City, Utah. Prepare for a magical, transformative, and truly otherworldly experience. Tickets can be purchased online or at the store. Remember, this is your invitation to transcend the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. And with that, I'll see you on the other side. Ashe, blessings. Inshallah and Ashe. As always, divine wills, blessings to you and for you. Gratitude and blessings to you as always. We've taken the show above the 555. Now it's time to hit those elven numbers. The elves, the 1111. Feeling the divine pour of love with all those ones. It's super fantastic to see that you have all been referring your friends and guests. And did you really know that when we hit the 777, that is spirit of the self, our inner spirit self, the spirit of the guard, the guardians of our galaxy, and the spirit of our higher self. It then becomes the divine self in alignment, resonating with creator, the oneness field. That is one of the reasons why numbers truly are so powerful. It is really the Powerball in consciousness. It's like hitting the jackpot, truly, in consciousness. It's part of the matrix that we're all a galactic part of. So go ahead and share this excitement with your friends and guests. Go ahead and hit that white rabbit. It's the only way to guarantee that you're going to really get your nutritional quotient that your soul deserves. And in the season of Cancer, the home, our emotional foundation, is really underneath a cosmic microscope. Hopefully you're not nitpicking at your emotions, but it's the key to our healing journey. It's often our emotional field. We tend to dissipate our feelings, or maybe we aren't understanding them. Feeling valuable, nurturing ourselves, personal self-care, feeling sociable, feeling excitable, feeling guarded possibly. So do we believe in a feeling where our joy molecules are moleculing, percolating, feeling joy molecules in our bodies? The moon's in the season of Taurus, so we may be feeling more valuable in that area of our natal chart, that house placement. And the 8th house, feeling intimate, for example, feeling spirit, feeling successful, feeling vibrational. So this is an opportunity for our day-to-day choosing to really place the oxygen mask on our self-care first. Emotional self-care, feeling joy in the body, time to really feel a new way of feeling in our day-to-day world, crafting that feeling, creating the flow, and emotional safety, security, grounding our heart, something our heart is able to respond to, that we can really feel an ability that's like heartfelt commitment to our own personal joy, to a new way of feeling about our day-to-day world, our reality around us, who we are or how we are seen in the world along with what we are feeling. They're aligning, merging to hold kind of like cosmic hands, threads of streams, if you will, which may just feel a little bit topsy-turvetish, the Fae, and you know I just love the Fae. So are you feeling the feeling of manifesting, actualizing a foundation of safety, creature comforts in your own habitat? You know, maybe you're feeling the energy of being more responsive to yourself along with those around you. But the key is to be affirmative, an affirmation of a feeling, heart centered, the joy molecules. It's our ability to act in the season of the body, reality, healing, Virgo, being able to really respond to our own inner healing, brings in Chiron as well, which is a whole nother story. Sometimes it's a matter of cutting the ties that are binding us, holding us from feeling fantastic. So you might even just find that it's time to initiate a ritual for your own well-being, your own health, cutting some cords, but bringing in the streams first. But the body is where our spirit and soul reside, different fluctuations, feeling the messages of your body. With that, my name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. I almost said dojo. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do, heartfelt. Hit that white button, the rabbit, on YouTube, Tonya D, where you're tuning in, streaming. And Musing with Tonya D, my podcast. Subscribe there if you haven't yet. The Sacral Center, weaving the threads through our emotions, the ebb and the flow of the emotional field, the moon, the goddess of the night, in all her illumination, the bounty, illuminating our home, the season of Cancer, feeling the divine pour of our emotional field, feeling our feelings. It really is a gravitational pull, getting or even magnetizing our own personal medicine, scrubbing our emotional field, just like when we cleanse our house and we change the sheets on our bed. You know that feeling of sleeping on fresh, crisp, clean sheets? Don't you just love it? And again, before I go any further, let's really give a shout out. Blessings, oh my goddess. The village, the tribe is excelling. Gratitude and blessings. New peeps entering the community, the village, the show. Subscribers. Shay, I just love to give a validation, a voice of acknowledgement, gratitude. Thank you. I do see you. I do hear you. I do frequent into you. New friends and guests, welcome to the show. I am truly magnetizing an emotional feeling of angelic subscribers for my channel. Cancer season, possibly. It's the 222. It's like the feeling of the choreography. Even the elven numbers, infinity, the elves, the genies, infinite twos or ones. I'm all about options. So we're hitting the angel numbers of infinite ones, the elves. Stay curious, question everything. Maybe we hit the goal story of really the spirit to spirit to spirit, inspirited intentions with the 777. Creating a village of musers with angel numbers. If you're in, just go ahead and share the excitement with your friends, like-minded groups and whatnot. It really does take a tribe, a village, beyond like-mindedness, I should say, to choreograph this stage where we're kind of changing the world into those unlimited possibilities of an optimistic venue. And of course, let's give a shout out to those of you that tune in since the beginning of my journey. Blessings, as always, tuning in, commenting. I do see you as well. And those that tune in on the replay later, as always, whatever timeline you're on, I do see you as well. Just remember a comment if you truly feel that you need a message for your day to get you on your way. Sharing is truly another way of paying it forward. We do need those gratitude, blessings, and feeling valuable. You can also find me on TikTok, of course. And on TikTok, I even need those elven numbers, followers, to go live. I really want to start throwing the bones, the shells, doing some mini readings with the shells. Possibly YouTube Shorts. I'm not sure how to figure that out. And Reels, again, thanks for sharing and loving my Reels and even saving them, by the way. But just remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we do need an otherworldly life coach, somebody who sees things through a different otherworldly perspective. Myself included, I do have my own energetic hiccups to get us out of our own magical way. And the daily snippet, what do I muse about here? It's the cosmic insights, the planets, the elementals doing their cosmic dance. I see the elementals of the galaxy as their own elemental choreography, I guess. And by design, I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through the seasons and the gates, different flavors there. But for the season of Cancer, it's the sacral centers online. It's our emotional territory, the feeling empathy. If you're not sure what your intuitive gifts are in your quiz, take my Change Your Stars quiz and find out your intuitive gift order, your psychic abilities. We all have them. They just have different flavors. And the emotional foundation, the moon, the goddess of the night, that's the foundation. It's our emotional foundation. It's our fourth house. It's our home. It's our familiars, even, I would say. So, who's on the cusp of your fourth house? Kind of tune into that. And where is your natal moon? Connecting with your moon. Your personal moon cycle is its emotional medicine as the moon transits through the gates or the houses, kind of filling into your moon. I'm not kidding. And the four pillars of destiny, it's the elementals of the day. I also tune into the energy centers, the pathways, the fields. And as a reflector, I'm always asking myself, is this the right time, the right place, the right people in the right time and place? I'm always going through this environmental choreography. Or what am I seeing that nobody else can see? What's the perspective that somebody might be missing? What's the movement I'm creating within my solution? And what's the solution I'm creating within the movement? So it's this whole systematic kind of sensing feeling that's happening for me. But if you are curious how you too can utilize the elementals off grid or on this grid, I've left the Rising of the Origins portal open. It's activated. That's all you got to do to really inspire perspective that you may not have seen within them. But ultimately, the key is always trusting our intuition. Might be a gut sense. It could be a vision. Could be a hearing sister. Could even be signs and sigils. But again, take my quiz, Change Your Stars. Super fun. If you're curious about your intuitive gifts, and I'm sure you are, some of them might just be otherworldly. And the out-of-body energetic centers light up on a different stage. I work with a 12 chakra system, energy system, just like the planets. I choreograph this all together. But again, being in the season of what we feel, the goddess of the night, the moon, Cancer season. So the moon, that is our emotional field. It fluctuates. Maybe you're hyper aware of your moon, the tides, the ebbs and the flow of your emotional field. Maybe you're cleansing it. Are you able to access, actualize, and acknowledge your own feelings? And following the moon, especially during the moon season, journal your feelings. Take notice of them. I mean, as a reflector, I'm always following the moon by design. I follow the moon through the astral houses along with the gates in human design. I'm seeing what's activating. I'm journaling with the moon. So what's the feeling you're feeling? Is it feeling empathy? Our sacral being online, it's this emotional zone of neutrality, hopefully. So just pay attention to what you feel being embodied, being in your body. Spirit, embodying spirit, really. That's the frequency code X. And so our feelings are truly shining upon our emotional state of awareness. Our little 2-year-old self. Connect with your 2-year-old self. And the sacral, I'm sure I've said this before, it actually activates from 6 months through 2.5 years. And we all use emotions as a way of communicating. Watch little kids. But on this day, our feelings are really ready to take an action towards feeling fantastic. It's time to initiate, shining our emotions out into the sacred garden, our own personal sacred garden, and cleansing our auric field. So it's like a cosmic scrubbing, a meditation, visualizing the cleansing, the reconciling, the clarity, the peace of our emotional field. So you may have to actually do this daily, just saying. I started doing this a few months ago. But again, thank you for tuning in. So grateful. I do have the Sacred Circle meditation. I'm going to be doing them for each of the astral season. Leo is coming soon to just kind of create a meditation to align with Leo, with our heart space, our high heart, our middle heart, the core of our heart by design, our heart channel. And if you have subscribed, you're going to get a notification and receive that. And today would be a great day to ground our feelings, to really root our feelings so they grow into the garden of like personal daily joy, bliss, the oneness. We're like being divinely choreographed to connect with the oneness. We've got a lot of planets choreographing through Leo right now, but the energy's on fire to initiate great states of feeling lighter, vibrationally kind of tweaking our field. So you may actually actualize and see these manifestations, like become manifest. Your heart's kind of choreographing for these things to take form, skipping stones across waters, thrusting us towards an emotional shift that we're ready to hit, like we're ready to navigate those streams, hitting the center of the core of the water. When you drop a stone, it resonates out. I am ready myself to feel the innate value that I'm really offering the world, feeling valuable. And it doesn't take money to feel valuable. Just spending time with people, maybe helping them clean their yard, doing something because you can. It's a state of being. and holding that vibrational tone of the feeling. You're like synchronizing with it. We have the prime directive of fire, our root center. It's kind of nudging us, maybe pulling at us, igniting our own inner fires, fueling an emotion. Maybe the emotion is more passion in your life, more inspirited connection, a feeling of spirit, or just feeling spirit. We have options as always, like when the car does a backfire and it won't start, or you haven't hit the gas pedal enough and the engine won't ignite, or we can really take off into an entirely different emotional direction, a field that really initiates great change and transformation, which this year is all about. It's like the next level choreography of sensations, attuning to what we truly heartfelt feel before we go out and about on our day. So it's a foundational day to attune to really what we're feeling and accepting positive feelings and emotions as just a new way, a new state of feeling fantastic or beyond infinity. Grounding this energy into the earth star, even your personal vibe axis, centering ourselves, bridging the gap between our energy centers, the root, the sacral, our heart, and our ability to command our feelings, like being in charge of them, adding a charge actually. So when we actualize an emotion, we give it space to feel them, we begin to shift our emotional field. Not exploring them often triggers feelings. So really trusting your gut, your intuition to bring a new way of being, a feeling into manifestation, energy vibrations of frequency, a new feeling it begins to become real in this world, physical, in the physicality. Love is always the key, the power of love. So invest in something that feels loving to you. What would your inner child want? Possibly a cuddle, a comfort food, some nurturing from the other world. Faith is also a feeling too. The oneness, absolute light, streams, scalar waves, shifting our emotional field to feel the highest of highs. And seriously, what's so bad about feeling fantastic? So really setting, maybe you want to send it. Set an intention to feel just that, infinity and beyond fantastic, transforming our emotional experiences. Manifesting is often a feeling we have skipped stones over a feeling, and thoughts really come after feelings. Feelings need time and space too. Again, watch little kids. Really, for us to invest in our emotional foundation, they need our attention. The ones under the rug may just percolate. Some things may be at the crossroads of an initiation, emotions coming to the forefront, hitting the four-way, the crossroads. Often we get ahead of ourselves, so our emotional self-care is a value as well. So go ahead, pat yourself on the back, give yourself an embracing hug, take a bow in the mirror. As we really begin our journey to really actualizing, accessing, and acknowledging our feelings for what they truly are, they're a part of our inner guidance system. To move forward with an elevated feeling, first, it really is the baby steps. So with that, just a few announcements on the menu, and that was possibly kind of a lot as I scroll down over here on this mystical, magical Monday. I don't know if I'm going live every day, by the way. But I did leave the Rising of the Origins open, the live show. If you missed it, the recordings are actually in the portal. You can activate your portal if you're really ready to connect with your gift and your purpose, your personal medicine, an element or an elemental being. The portal is open. I really decided to enhance the opportunity and leave it on the highway. I also have a fantastic new podcast episode out, rediscovering the magic of sound therapy. I think this is happening a lot. Sound healing out there. Sound is a part of our hearing sister, shifting our entire energetic frequency through sound. This is Miss Souza. I love the last name, Mayara. I always was muffling her name even in the interview. However, it's in the Season of the Witches series. Be sure to tune in. And I do believe energy is the medicine of the future, whether it's sound waves, light waves, frequency. It always truly has been quite often. And then also, I'm not sure you're aware, but I do cowrie shell divinations. This is an art of medicine, the art of cowrie shell to really connect you to medicine, ritual, your prime directive, if your soul's at a crossroads. I also have online opportunities, online courses, of course, right? You've seen them everywhere. The Energy Body Demystified. This is really setting the stage of your foundation. If you're new to energy healing and medicine, I basically keep it pretty simple and art friendly, I should say, or subtle energy friendly. That's kind of what that feels like. The energy body mystified. It's truly about setting your own stage for self healing. It's a beginner's journey into just that. And then from there, I feel like we need to harness our intuitive gifts. And that's where Change Your Stars comes from. I got the title from The Knight's Tale. I loved when the dad said that we all have the ability to change our stars or reignite the star that we've authentically always been. I just feel like we all have these gifts. And I believe we are all stars on the spiritual walk of fame. So it really is time to be authenticated to the star of who you are. And then one of my very favorites, actually, they're all my favorite. I think every time I actually muse myself, they reignite something different in me. But Uncover Secrets of the Other World. I really dive into life and death, my experiences with that. And then I also have Voices of the Other World. I kind of bring these two together because they are otherworldly. Just being initiated early on, I was blessed by death. So curious minds always want to know about death, not realizing that it truly is the cycle of life, to be alive while we're here for this really very short journey, this trip. And if you are or happen to be in Utah on July 16th. This is not the Crone's Hollow. However, Secrets of the Other, or Voices of the Other World. I'm going to be doing a live show and on Sunday, July 16th, Gift and Purpose. Hopefully I will see you there if you're part of my village here in Utah. But I also have a musing moon meditation on the horizon. If you've subscribed, you're going to get a notification when the Goddess of the Night is on the highway. Super excited. And I think that's all on the menu for today. So as the elemental highway, we do have today, it actually probably started a couple days ago, we have a new month pillar. I don't know if you felt the shift, but it's Earth. It's Yin Earth Goat, the greatest of all time. So you may, if you were born in the year of a goat, attract another goat, the greatest of all time, in a relationship this month or a partnership. New friends are coming activated towards you. Now, Earth is a transitional season. It's an interseason. It happens between all of the elemental seasons, the cycles of the year. People born on an Earth day, an Earth year or month, they are always in transition. These are the nurturers of the world. They are earthy. But it's also acne, lymphatic circulation, toxicity, enlarged pores. Earth. It's actually a very hard transition to be born in. So just notice if your skin begins to speak to you, reflecting the inner world to the outer world. My skin's on fire, full of fire elemental. I already am. So I often go to the waters to soothe myself, to soothe my soul. But our day is a mountain, a young earth dragon, and we have a lot of earth energy starting our week out, as you can tell, as I need a drink of water. But young earth, remember, is the mountain. Young earth is the mountain, and we've got a dragon right below. So it's a dragon earth. This is hardy earth. It's a dragon, right? So this is a big mountain. Go to the mountain. It's a mountain range. Go to the mountain. Share your secrets to the mountain. Do an offering of flowers to the mountain. It's very healing. Yin Earth and Yang Earth are in conflict, however. Elementally, Earth isn't as conflicted as elemental conflicts like fire to water, say, or metal to wood. Earth is the flesh. It is the flesh. Stability. So we are seen like a mountain, but we have lots of things going on inside of us, a lot of yin energy in our inner world, but it's also the moon. Yin is moon, right? Yang is the sun. So it's like feeling happy, feeling kind, feeling inner peace, nature, earth, and water. Being seen as stable, reliable, practical. So we have power, kindness and power, being a kind leader, seen as a kind, transformative leader. There's lots of yin wood in the branches and also in the year, the rabbit. And we also have wealth and storage, the hour of the dog. Wealth comes to us because it's released. It's also on the year and in the yin water. So we have wet earth in the dragon, and we have very, very dry earth in the goat. That is the driest earth ever. And our month brings us some disturbance, rivals, possibly unhappiness. Our inner world is feeling maybe a little unhappy. Maybe we're sad. While what would the world see us as? The world is seeing us as stable, reliable. We do have yin fire in the goat, which is a support. This would be a candle flame. However, we do need some metal. Metal is the missing element. This is a day to decide, commit to a decision. Metal is an energy of decision making, managers, CEOs, business, creating things out of metal, knives, alchemizing, crystals, golds, mechanics, people who work with metal, forge the metal into a tool, refining something. Really, it's base metal to gold. It's an alchemizing energy, but it's also courage, courage to speak our truth. It's our throat center. But our day needs to move. The wood energy is breaking up the soil, kind of like a meadow, grass on a meadow. But yeah, we do need metal. Be discerning in your commitments to your inner world, your inner realm, and your day to day reality. And so, yeah, that's kind of a lot. But metal would be the elemental I would bring, metal, mineral, even air, with all this energy that we are experiencing. I really wouldn't bring in fire. We've got enough fire happening for us. You could possibly bring in more water as well. But I feel like metal to really like pull that earth and energy and put it in action to do something. And you guessed it. Who would have guessed, right? The messages are coming in from the Fae this week. And for today, Mystical Monday, we do have the undressing of a salad, which I love. The 31. So it's time to feel love a feeling, believing in the feeling. It's time to actualize it, then feeling it, manifesting a new way of feeling that really truly resonates with your heart and what you believe to be true authentically. Part of the fairy guides and guardians, these are the ones that really devote their time and energy to directly guiding us as we develop our own gift and talents and purpose, our own natural magic. They really do assist us to become more than we really absolutely are, just exploring our true authentic potentials, transcending those self-imposed limitations, fears, those lower energy frequencies, often climbing us out of holes that we've made for ourselves by misusing or misunderstanding our gift and purpose, our true potential and talents, our authenticity. So they're offering us humor as we kind of trip over sticks or stub our toes. But this is balance. It's avoiding extremes. It's achieving the impossible or even being impossible. So oftentimes the undressing of a salad requires truly a remarkable gift and purpose. Often we might think it is impossible. However, it's not. It's the perspective. It's a matter of turning our bad luck into good or golden luck, alchemizing, whichever isn't easy often, right? Especially if somebody outside of us seems determined to turn good luck into bad. So things are integrating and disintegrating at the same time. So confusion's kind of like at the top of the pickle, if you will, or the stub on the toe, but we still try to create order and put things into balance. The entire universe is always hurtling through space and time at an astonishing rate. Even time and space is moving faster than that of our ancestors. My grandma's 98. I can't even imagine what she's lived through in her timeline. So things are in motion. The outcome is impossible to predict. However, when we are in our inner peace, we are cool, we are calm, we are collective, we are in the flow, and we're getting ready. We're preparing to really jump into whatever direction seems appropriate. So it's really about exercising peace, being cool, calm, collective, even in our judgment, while staying ready for the unpredictable, those unexpected, sudden changes, the choreography of fortune. Those might appear good or bad. It's all perspective. But they're in flux. They're fluctuating. It's the moon. So they can be rechanneled if necessary. So just developing poise, being calm, being intuitive, being in our inner peace, your emotional zone of neutrality, and then we can come out a winner. We arrive on top, the winner that we ultimately are, to shine our light. However, it may take some really concentrated effort, like focusing in, utilizing power, courage with delicacy, refinement, and even discretion. It's about alchemizing. So that's kind of the energy for today. And then on Terrific Tuesday, we've got the Pied Piper, piping the pipes. Also, or no, part of the she, these are the people, the lords and the ladies of fae, the beings of the other world. These are the old ones. Even when they're young, they appear old. But these are the fae that dance. All the fae dance. They love laughter, poetry. But the she do so to mediate the powerful energies of the singers, bridging that gap into manifestation throughout all of the worlds. And they do this for the pure essence of the joy molecules. And this is the alchemical dance. I feel like it's taking the energy from today and pushing it into Tomorrowland, but it's the art of life itself. And these are the ones who create, nurture, building the worlds, the inhabitants of all these worlds, the guardians, the comforters, and they often create frequent miracles. But the piper is just that. It's about music, sound healing, order, harmony, seduction, but also empathy. So I'm going with feeling empathy because we've got the moon, we've got the sacral. So this is an alchemizing energy. It's the law of attraction to our feelings and being open to receive just this alchemizing energy and accepting it with gratitude. It's the divine pour. It's the melody of the piper. It's got its secret melody. So it kind of drifts through our lives and it's offering us a means to really communicate through our heart, through our chalice without words. So his music conveys our emotions to one another, the sacral, emotions that are audible only in the listening ears of our hearts, tuning into our heart's space. His approach is very gentle, it's calm, it's actually wordless. So he may send his melody through the whispers of leaves, the rustlings of the grass, the songs of the bird, the seed sounds of hummingbirds, the hums of a city traffic, the buzzing of our refrigerator, the whirling sound of a computer, maybe. So he's asking that we will listen to the world around us, all the frequency, energy, vibrations, especially to those unspoken words of others, telepathy, right? Filling into those channels, whether in our physical body, humans, or the otherworldly beings, the elementals, plants, trees, rivers, all the things. Among other things, he's also offering us is the ability to bring him our sorrows, the pain in the form of music so that he may help us to heal them. It kind of reminds me of the ballad. Singing a sad song to this fairy, he's going to add to it the energy of cleansing and healing if we're really open to this magic, this medicine. But it's a natural music. It's offering us the tranquility. Water is tranquil sometimes when it's in the flow. So if we have the time to be still and to really listen to it, this music can also be seductive, attractive, or both, even magnetic, magnetizing. But he's luring us with our own daydreams. Sometimes we allow the music of the piper to kind of enthrall us into an illusion, especially the illusion of control, that which we have no control over. However, if we utilize this illusion for our own self-deceit, we break through into greater truths, and then it has served its real authentic purpose. So he is kind of calling to us. He's asking us to listen to him, listen to the other world, the fae, maybe an angel, to the other worlds, even to each other's hearts. So he's piping. It may seem just like that, a little elusive. Maybe it's hard to hear. Maybe it's diffused. Maybe you're blocked. But it's very clear. It brings us the meaning of our lives. Just working on developing more order, harmony, beauty in our life. Then when we're doing that, we're singing to the tune of this piper, becoming more like him as we do so. So it's really a message to get what we want. The piper is recommending that we try polite requests, gentle nudging, patient persuasion, and this just waiting quietly in the stillness and welcoming, like opening the door for it to come to us, really seeking harmony, tranquility within ourselves. This really is the emotional zone of neutrality, even in the world around us, utilizing tenderness, gentleness. So it's kind of a message that speaks of a time of harmony, creativity, increasing order, details of communication, concerns of others. So it's kind of time to pay attention to the subtlety, like the subtle energies of others' expressions of their feelings and ideas, looking past the surface and listen as we would to kind of the sound on the very edge of hearing. It's kind of the sound of silence, but it's also playing the melodies in our dreams, which may be filled with meaning and importance. And then he leaves it up to us to really understand what it means. It's like the drawbridge lowering, if you will. So it might just be a great time to just be aware that others may be listening to us with sensitivity and clarity, so much so that we may hear what they are truly saying more clearly than we do to ourselves. So it's also maybe opening the door. It's a signal, a sign, a sigil of our own musical talents and gifts and abilities. It might even be a suggestion that using music in some way is important at the time. Sound healing. Again, listen to this week's podcast episode. That's kind of what I'm feeling there. And then on the Wizardry of Wednesday, that was a lot. We have Aponya's wild daughter, the 54. And again, this is alchemizing. Monday we added to a 4 today. Tuesday we have a 4. Wednesday we have a 4. So this really is initiating great emotional changes in our emotional foundation, being mindful of our thoughts around a feeling. But she's part of the fairy challengers. And these are the fae that really bring us face to face to our fears, denials, inner traumas, inner insecurities, doubts, delusion, confusion. Maybe you're misbehaving. Reminds me of Dolly Parton, I guess. But these are the fae, metaphorically speaking, that they do stick their foot out. Ashe, blessings. In front of us, that's an ancestor, by the way, to see if we're paying attention to where we are going. They're testing our alertness, our awareness, insight, knowledge, wisdom, ancient wisdom, even our dedication to our own personal growth. But these tests are not like tests that we have in the physical world. They're designed, these tests, that we're going to pass them. We're learning from them. We get the memo, more of who we are and elevating to a higher space of being. But these are more of initiation. Some are minor, some are major. And here comes another Ashe, blessings. Yeah. So these are initiations. So yeah, it's kind of like when you've grown a level, you can still come down a level, but you're still at an upper level, or you can topsy-turvy it. But Aponya's wild daughter, this is our inner shadows, nightmares, depression, madness, growth in the bleakest part of the night. In Dorcha, that's her name. She comes wearing her crown of fairy stars. She's kneeling on the ancient owl, the bearer of the hidden wisdom of the night, facing into the past with this clear, unflinching gaze. That's where she's holding us. So we're kind of held in this immobile, kind of inwardly focused, but she's comforting us. And her hands are filled with light, right? We use our hands. We can direct energy with our hands, streams of light, universal streams, personal streams. And she's asking us riddles that often seem impossible to answer at first. And yet, she will not let us go until we find a solution within ourselves. She is one of the great teachers of the Fae, but her method of teaching makes Socrates' questions look like child's play. So we need to expect this of her because her lessons are more about the shadow sides of ourselves, the things we fear, our insecurities, self-doubt, worry, denials, But she's the practitioner of tough love therapy. She's the wild daughter of Aponia, which is the lady of the horse and the moon. So she takes us through the dark shadows inside of ourselves into healing fulfillment from the temporary madness of rage, the premenstrual tensions, great stressors, to the deeper, longer psychosis. So she's driving us on the journey through her internal hells, if you will. And when we complete the journey, we're transfigured, we're transformed, transcending our old selves, so we can never be frightened of this darkness again. It reminds me of the ghost in the darkness, whether they're ours or that of others. But until that journey is fully complete, we exist in a state of vulnerability, which is where most of us are most of the time, vulnerable to our emotions, but she's otherworldly. So just knowing it's going to take us a little longer, but the resolution of the issue is probably buried more deeply under the rug and those shadows. But it's a point where a wise person, we pray for guidance. We meditate for guidance. We cannot go forward until we have faced something very deep within us in those shadows that's really holding us back. So it's a task. It's a message of some urgency. We can expect help in this form from other people, from the otherworldly beings, even from our dreams if we're to ask. But we got to be open to these difficult questions and also in the response to those answers and just being ready to face things about ourselves that are not as we probably wish they would be. So she's urging us to heal those unresolved issues about who we really are, what we truly want to be. Often we say we know, but that's why we're here in the presence of her. So it kind of implies that the answers we truly need are to be found deeply within ourselves. What are our nightmares expressing or telling us? We need to answer this riddle, kind of like a Zen koan, a Buddha master. The solution really lies within us. So this is a day of setting boundaries around our feelings, being that the moon is probably in the season of our mind, and using our feelings to shape our thoughts and being mindful of them, not the other way around. So you may go into the rabbit hole of despair. So that was kind of a lot. And then I'm super excited about this. On Tantalizing Thursday, we've got a singer on a day where our feelings in our heart are frequenting a feeling that we can heartfelt believe. This is like being in alignment of our soul's harmonics, streaming in universal streams. And the 3 is just that. It's our higher beliefs, transforming a belief into a new way of feeling better about who we are. The singers are like the angels. We've given them a multitude of given names. These are the ones whose wings span the multiverse in all dimensions, all directions. But it really doesn't matter what we call them. They just hope that we do call upon them. And this is saying we need to call upon them. These are the ones that sing that underlying song of the universe to each and every one of us. So these are the great ones that show us in human or fairy form or other worldly forms the great potentials that we have to ultimately become what it is we're meant to be. They move us on the pathway, especially if we've fallen off the path. So these are the messengers of the oneness. They are the messengers of unity. And we receive the power of unity through their song, which is brought to us by the gates, the guardian of the gate, the message for today, into this world. So it's kind of being channeled in through their songs. The energies are powerful. They're like love, courage, connection, intuition, so on and so forth. But having the guardian of the gate, this is passages to a new life. It's initiation, openings, gatekeepings. It's the principal task of this guardian at the gate, the gatekeeper, is to facilitate, like move us through the passages from one realm into the other. And just saying, that reminds me of like the sparklers, the fireworks. Yeah, a portal, right? And to block this passageway of that, which is not ready to pass. So these realms may be earth, they could be the other world, they could be fairy, they could be the cosmos of the singers, unity, the oneness, but they can also be considered as levels of reality or states of consciousness. And one state of consciousness, we're in the ordinary world. In another, we're in the fairyland or in unity, the oneness. Our bodies don't really move, but our minds do fluctuate a little bit along with our emotions. But the guardian at the gate of unity kind of facilitates the passage of the song into the hearts of the singers. It's weaving. It's aiding in the passages of humans, fairies, into the unity field to be filled with that song when it's their time. So we can't make these mystical experiences happen to us. We can only open our hearts wider and wider, opening our heart field until we're ready, usually only momentarily to receive it. It's like the divine pour. But the guardian at the gate recognizes our readiness. So along this line, we see the energy gathering into the starry gate or streaming out of it, universal streams, personal streams. And again, in this image, but we cannot tell what's happening on the other side of the gate. So this is very suggestive of how these gates and our passage through them could be, but this is the primal spirit of all of the guardians that appear. So when we are about to step through all the metaphorical and most physical kind of gateways in a way, from the guardians of the passages between worlds to the guardians or the doorkeepers, gatekeepers at our own front door, they are all manifestations of one spirit, like facets of different sizes on the surface of one diamond. They're kind of reflective, like fractals. So this naturally is the guardian at the gateway to the land of the Fae, but also to the fairies' oracle, because they have got their own oracle, their own seer itself. And every person, every fairy who has ever helped us through an important passage was manifesting the energy of this guardian. Now the guardian holds the gate of the other world open for us, but all we need to do is enter it. And being that it's otherworldly, so you could have two opposing forces here, it's just showing us that the gate is closed to us at this time. Perhaps we're trying to start something that we're not really truly ready for, or that we are not ready for us yet. They're not ready for us. Perhaps we're even trying to do something that's inappropriate at this time, something that's going to take us off on a dead end road. Maybe you're at a crossroads, so it's kind of standing here, banging our heads, or maybe we're knocking on the closed door. It's really not a productive activity to manifest, producing. So if we have our heart set on going in a particular direction, a pathway, a great question to ask, what do I need to attend to first in order to bring this opportunity into my life? And the answer to that may be that unfinished business from the past may make us unready to move on. If so, we need to complete that first, whether it's something in our physical world or in our inner selves. An alternative possibly is that the gate is open, but we're refusing, possibly out of fear to see or even enter it. We may even be telling ourselves that it isn't a real opportunity, that it wouldn't really work, that we can't or don't want to do it after all. So we're kind of reversing gears. We may even be feeling an attraction towards it or a substantial fear of it. And then we might be even denying the fear, giving ourselves all sorts of reasons, rationalizations, justifications as to why a sensible person wouldn't try that. Yet the gate stands open. So when the guardian of the gate appears otherworldly, this is deep thought. That's what's required. When it appears right side up and the gate is open wide, prepare for an initiation into a new life. So it's a message, actually, it's bringing me back to Wednesday's message. We need to initiate those deep emotions, journal, reflect on Wednesday, on Thursday, like reflect on Thursday what you wrote down on Wednesday. So that's the message there. And then on Friday, we have Luathis the Wild, which I love this character, but he too is part of the Fairy Challengers. So we're kind of having some kind of breakthrough, an emotional breakthrough after the initial breakdown, but this is spirit. This is spiritual communication. Once we connect with spirit and we communicate with spirit within ourselves, we're actually going to get a feeling that resonates in our heart that we can heartfelt believe in. It's spiritual communion. It's like having Holy Communion and a belief in that. It's our own beliefs, not the world's beliefs that get processed upon us. But he's also haste. It's impulsiveness. This is fire, spontaneity, balance. And Loasis, wild, he is filled with fire, and fire is associated with creativity, life force, vitality. He's a fiery fairy. He's firing us up. He gets us going. Recharging our batteries, our creative energies. He likes to be around when things are exciting, passionate, when there's a lot of life force, vitality blazing through. He jumps in. He encourages us to burn even higher. This is creation, passion. That's what he does. Faster, faster, faster. That's his motto. Quicker, quicker, quicker. So we have to really be careful with him so he doesn't ignite things that go off grid. He doesn't know the meaning of words like slow down, stop, rest, take a cat nap, moderation, going with the flow, gradual pace, being gentle with ourselves, being easy, feeling going, or just being at peace. So these are all the things that humans must know in order to live creatively, constructively. Things take time, they take space. So anything else is kind of fatal often, sooner or later, probably sooner at that. The fire of him can be destructive as well as creative. It's the opposing forces. Rage, fury, anger, hate. They're all part of the element of fire. Fire burns as well as energizing, transforming. So think of the gentle warmth of a full sleeping kitten, its inner fire, converting milk to bone to muscle, and also into the friskiness of cats, or the flame of a candle lighting, just lighting the way of the wanderer back home, or the anger of a hurt soul lashing out at others, or the inferno of a forest fire, wild, it's overpowering. So creation, destruction are very intricately connected. The burns creates ash. In turn, it creates fertilizer, new growth, right? The process, the cycle. That's why people like to harvest on the slopes of volcanoes, very fertile. Wineries in Italy, for example. That's why they risk even living there, farming there. So think of the phoenix who lays her eggs and then bursts into flames to incubate them. Birth, death, rebirth, and a dragon month, right? They're all cycles of fire. Maleficent kind of reminds me of that. But this is a message that these wild creative energies are being brought to whatever position that it's really representing. And fire, it often fires things up, surrounding us with the fire, energizing things around us. It tells us that it's important to think, act, and be creative in the thinking and the acting. And it even says that the energy to do so is also available. New approaches maybe are being called for. Old ideas, old behaviors aren't going to work or do. Sometimes it's just useful to draw another message to get some suggestions about what these ideas may be. But also, this might be telling us to go for something, like to do it now. So if something, you may even get a message, you might feel like you're holding yourself back and then walking away, having a conversation, or a thought of, oh no, I got this. You know how you like do a back step? Sometimes it's important to really just take a risk of making a fool of ourselves to gain something amazing, wonderful, miraculous, the unknown. Sometimes it's a message saying, go for it, do so now. It's vitally important to do so. Sometimes it isn't, but if that's the only reason for caution is that you're afraid of looking silly or laughed at, it's probably time to go for it. And just remember then that you do not need to keep an open eye on this energy, but just don't let him have over control of your schedule, doing too many things on your platter. And even, in haste, accelerating the car, you might get a speeding ticket. So just be careful, I would say, because he's always thinking go faster and taking chances on something better, sometimes if it's even right. So just use your intuition, stay grounded, even while he takes us off on a fancy flight, a wild ride that's fiery. But I did grab an extra message with Lou out this because that's what he does. And this is the Oak Men, the 47, the Oak Men, I should say, part of the Helpline Troop. So these are the wee folk of the land of the Fae. They sometimes assist us in our daily life. Sometimes they do a little bit, add a little dash of confusion, usually in an effort to be helpful. But they're associated with the elemental realm, fire, earth, ether, water, moonlight, the galaxy, Mars, etc., and so much more. But sometimes they work alone. Sometimes they work in troops. So this tells me that help is on the way. We've got assistance. The Oak Man is strength, ancient wisdom, depth. The 47, again, this is creating a spiritual vibration, connecting to spirit. When we connect with spirit, it offers us alignment, integrity, bringing reality into our feelings. It's the divine pour of love inside of ourselves and the love outside of ourselves. It's a feeling of those universal streams of beyond joy. It's the oneness, absolute. But the interesting thing about the Oakman is how we humans use the Fae as a mirror, mirroring our own projections. But the eyes of the Oakman, they're warm, they're light brown, they're kind of, they're nurturing, they're warming, right? Some people do look at them and say, oh my gosh, they can't see anything but the red lit eyes, so they become afraid. But the Oakmen are spiritual, they're wise. So this is the illusion often that we see. Often we can lose track of time and we get a sense of deep grounding, peace, contentment, feeling into them. Everything is there if we just take the time to be a part of it. It's in this deepness, this homecoming, this transformation, this authenticity that the Oakmen show us. There's a deep wisdom in the age of time, inner peace, the strength of our elders. That's what the Oakmen are. They're all about that, connecting with an oak tree and looking at them, seeing them as they are. That's when we can only see our own projections. The universe, just like the Oakman, is full of wisdom, compassion, strength. So calling it in, but it doesn't always come in those pretty little packages, right? So this is the strength and wisdom of age and time. It's the process, the cycle of time. Metal energy, actually. It's also reminding us that when we need to know something, that what we need to know, what is truly there to be seen. It cannot be discovered by a superficial glance or a hasty reaction. So it's really telling us to look slowly and deeply into the heart of the matter and to see past the superficialities, the superficial of it, of the surface. You're just on the subtle surface. So kind of consider the history of your situation and in-depth learning from our past, getting the memo, consulting others with more experience that we may have, and learning from the wisdom of our elders, our ancestors, both available to us personally, people we encounter, books elsewhere, even going to the your ancestor altar. So in this matter, it would kind of be wise to make our decisions after we've done some pondering, some musing, studying of our situation, maybe looking into a different set of eyes, a solution, considering what's motivating, like go to your depths of your motivations and taking action only after we've gone through this thorough deliberation. So he's kind of telling us that haste may be at this moment our worst enemy, and that's Lawatha. So it's like holding back our reins a little bit and suggesting that we may learn a lot from trees, really connecting with the tree for transformation, being an agent for change, considering their wisdom, and really connecting with an old wise tree, really asking for help. So the fire of Loathus brings the wisdom of the oakman. So really taking time, giving sacred space to the wisdom of the ancient trees. I'd say an affirmation for this week, maybe something like, I am feeling a new way of being that really resonates with my emotional field. Time to feel differently, transforming an old feeling into a new feeling. So with that, I say ashe and blessings, and I'll see you on the other side, possibly Wednesday, magically on Friday.
See it a lot in the majority of people. It seems like collectively we have this foot stuck on this realm of shame and guilt, and we carry that stuff with us. And it's beautiful that you said that, because we look at it that way. We look in a way that there is a lot of ancestral healing on the work that we do. The way that we look on the field around the body, we see that there's two areas on the sides of the body that are ancestral energy that kind of come with us. And on the right side is the masculine one, and on the left side, the feminine one. And when we work on the field and we notice a lot of release while we are passing through these areas, we notice some interesting things that happen afterwards. You know, some people might say, like, oh, this person reached out to me, I haven't spoke with them in 20 years. You know, like some connection that we have with someone, that entanglement, right, that we never really break that connection that we had